Hello and welcome back. So, we are now going to make it ready to be a plugin, and after that we're going to make it, clean up the code. So first let's actually add the folder plugin, so we can actually make it into a plugin. And after that we are going to add a folder in here, call it what the name of the plugin is, and I'm gonna name it Casper Deb Dialog Editor. You can of course call it whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna make sure I spelled it correctly. And that seems about right. And next we want to add the dialog editor folder under it, as this is the dialog editor itself. And then we actually want to add examples. So we're going to add a folder under here that we are going to call examples. And we're going to add another folder under here we're going to call example1. And we have already made example1 here, as you can see. This here is example1. So later on, later on we are going to add more examples. So let's move all of our data stuff. Oh, actually, we don't want to move data on the example1, but examples itself, as data contains the models, animations, and we might want to reuse those for other example scenes. So we're just going to leave it out here in examples. So we're going to drag scripts on the example1. We're going to drag scenes, if I could get scenes. Scenes, yeah, we should probably just take a little more, and prefabs. On the prefabs we can just delete this one here, so I notice there's no reason why it's called 1. Alright, so as you can see right now, all of this down here is of course just called example 1. Oh, we can also rename the scene, so example scene 1. Let's just reopen that. Oh, yes, it is renamed. As this is example scene 1. So later on we will of course add more scenes. I already think to that. So why are we not adding resources under here? Well, that's because resources needs to be under the asset folder to actually work in Unity system. And I can see we have an empty folder here we're not using, so be gone. Let's actually name this. Oh, I forgot. If I rename this one, we need to go into a lot of scripts and rename stuff. So for now, we're not gonna touch that one, I think. You know what, let's actually do that. So I think it's save and load of those one here. Gonna open that quickly. Oh, it's on the other screen, that's why. Alright, so that's because we need to make dialog editor. We just need to name it this right here. And when we need to, of course, go into save and name that dialog editor as well. Save both of them. Go back into Unity. Wait for it and plada ping, plada boom. Let's actually see if it works as well. So we have the saved version here. So if I go over here and click save, that seems about right. Then let's go and load it. That seems also about right. Let's try and run. See if everything works as it should. Yep, that seems to work perfectly fine. And we can also change language. Yes, everything works as it should. Wonderful. Alright, so now that we have renamed things as I like them to be, we can see, so you might be asking why have we done this? Well, I'm going to show you. So let's just save this. Let's actually save the entire project as well. So we're just gonna click plugins and resources, right click and click extract package. As now you can see we can extract this entire package into another project. So we're just gonna go export. We're gonna name it something. I'm just gonna call it Yaman, because that is what I name things that needs to go fast. And we can open up this entire empty project, and you'll probably say, hey, I need my dialog editor system in this project. You just drag it in. you can now import it like any other asset. And we're just gonna wait a little while. And you can now see that under plugins, we have the Casper Dev dialog editor, and we will have some examples. And you'll probably see, I want to go on the example scene 1 and see what does that have. Oh, how does this work? Let's try and click play. And we can now try out the example scene in an entire another project. So that is the purpose of this first video, of just cleaning up this a little bit, making it ready to be a plugin. In the next videos, we are going to actually clean up the code. As I started looking through it again, last time I touched much of this code was in Christmas, and that is quite a while ago. So I had to go through it again and actually figure out how some of it works, because I completely forgotten it, how it actually worked. That is rather interesting, because I didn't add any comments. So that is, bad of me. So we're gonna add comments and clean up the code, and hopefully make it a lot better. But it's gonna be a little bit boring, because cleaning up code and adding comments is always boring. So, stick through it. It's one of those important things you need to do. So no, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.